Alright, this is part 3. I just checked the previous 2 recordings, and it seemed like the audio had a bit of an echo. Not a bit, but it was a decent amount of echo. So I adjusted it for you guys and gals. So let's get into it. Part 3.
How to suffer. How do we handle loss? How that sermon before. We've done a great job. We've taught you how to praise. You've heard that sermon before. But what we haven't really served you well in is how to suffer. How to suffer. How do we handle loss? How do I handle trials? How do I handle letdowns? How do I handle when I keep on getting Leah and I expected Rachel? How do I still have faith in that? How do I still have faith when I prayed and they died anyway? How do I still have faith when I asked God to help me with this and it doesn't seem like he came through? How do I still have faith? And if we don't touch on this, everybody, if we don't touch on this church family, we'll be people who can only handle blessings, but we can't handle tests.
Now this is a topic that I'm not even going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about on, which I'm glad that God has graced him with this platform for him to speak on this topic. So I'm gonna let him do the teaching and preaching on this because I have nothing to add to this as well. But on the topic of handling tests, there was a pastor that once said, your test will ultimately become your testimony. Something along those lines. Let's get into it though.
So, like many times God is saying, do you trust me? Do you trust me? Do you trust me? What if I told you that Leah is actually the blessing?
Yeah.
What if I told you that Leah is God's will, but Rachel is your will?
I know. Also, the audio is kind of low. It's kind of low, but bear with me on this because when I would try to adjust the audio, there would be like a loud background. So for the time being, we're gonna work with this. But yeah. On the topic of this is like it's almost like it's basically like a whole perspective shift that you need for to flip your line of thinking on like viewing like what you're going through. Something I learned as well.
See, we got to talk about this because there are a lot of people who say, I just believe God will give me the desires of my heart. And if I desire Rachel, then he's going to give me Rachel. We have to really break that down because if God were to give you the desires of your heart, if you like me, you have sinful desires. And actually, if God gave us all the desires of our heart, he'll be helping us sin. So this means we have to break this down. When he says he gives us the desires of our heart, it's because our heart is so in tune with God's heart that we end up desiring what he desires, and he puts his desires in our desires. So now I desire what he desires, so he gives me the desires after my own heart because my desires is after his own heart. Does that make sense? What if I told you the blessing is Leah because Leah is God's will, but Rachel is your will?
See.
Let's talk about the roads of wills for a second. Because a lot of times people don't tell you when you come to Christ, this Christian journey is more like a tollway. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you some relationships. That dude that you thought was the one, once you got saved and on fire, and you recognize it's hard to be holy with this one, with this woman, with this girl, it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you something. But when you live life your way, it's more like a freeway. A freeway. On the freeway life, you can do what you want to do. You can say what you want to say. You can go where you want to go, date who you want to date. If you don't like them, God must not like them either. It's all about you. On the freeway, it's about your will because it's more about being feelings based than spirit led. So if you ain't feeling it, you ain't doing it. If you don't feel like getting up, you're not getting up. If you don't feel like sacrificing, you're not sacrificing. If you don't feel like being held accountable, I'm not being held accountable. If I don't feel like going with them, even though they make me stronger, I'm not going with them because it's all feeling based. I'm working hard for Rachel, and I don't care what anybody else thinks because this is what I want. I don't care if it hurts my family. I don't care if I work so much and I'm not there for my children. This is about me. The freeway. See, people who traffic in this lane, they're consumers, not producers.
All right, real quick on the subject, on the topic where he mentioned the people doing the things that'll help you get stronger. That's It's one of the ways that you can tell that you're in a true friendship. Somebody, somebody that pushes you to grow, and you push them to grow. Him or her, you push him or her to grow as well. Iron sharpens iron. That's not the only way to tell if that's an equally yoked relationship, but it's one of the ways. Obviously, you gotta pray and fast about it too.
Y'all ready for this? They're consumers, not producers. These type of people, they always see you as a purse, not a person. They see you as a purse, not a person. They're consumers, not producers. Another trait of these type of people who carry out their will, they possess a convenience store mentality. They only traffic in convenient lanes. If you try to inconvenience them to leave the cruise line of their comfort zone, they'll cut you off, they'll go ghost, they won't text you back, they won't call you back, they won't have nothing to do with you because you're constantly trying to get them to leave their comfort zone. These are people who live their way. And then we have people who have a vampire's nature. This is that Jesus saved me, but don't change me. I just want your blood, and that's it. And I think sometimes the reason we have trust issues is not because of God. It's because of people. We have misplaced people. And now I have trust issues due to the places I've placed people. Can we talk? Spoke about this in a webisode not too long ago. There are really 4 types of people. We have pawns, we have projects, we have partners, and we have parasites. Woo! Pawns, partners, projects, and parasites. And if you can't discern your partner from your project, no wonder you have trust issues. Because you issued trust to somebody who never showed themselves trustworthy. You put them in a room in your heart. Okay, let's just break it down. Number 1, projects. Okay? Before I go into this, I want us to understand this. This is why we need discernment. Because you always can't tell which one is a project, which one is a pawn, which one's a partner, which one's a parasite. So I need discernment. And you know what I believe discernment is? Needed discernment is God's calling to us to engage in intercession. Did you hear what I just said? Needed discernment is God's way of calling you into intercession. You're going to have to pray about this one, ma'am. You're going to have to pray about this one, sir. You can't make this decision just off rolling dice on just off what you think. Because if you look at your resume, why you trust you so much, you're going to encounter a situation, a person, an opportunity where it's going to cause for you to pray. I need discernment because discernment is the ability to remove presentation. Discernment is to be able to remove the presentation, because a lot of people present themselves to be one thing, but the intention and the motive of it is another thing. And I need to pray because I need some discernment. Discernment will give you this, they talking good, but there's just something not sitting right in my soul. There's just something there telling me don't take this offer, don't call her back, don't do this back, because it's discernment. Project. A project is a person, you're not looking to build a bond. You're looking where to place bricks. Yeah, this is a relationship you just building with them. This is an assignment, not an alignment. You don't date projects. You help them, but you don't date them. Okay? Now listen, my sisters, this one.
To modernize it in layman's terms, a perfect example would be like on a sports team. Like, imagine, like on an NFL team, would you think that everybody on that football team, including the coaching staff, the all the players, the training staff, cafeteria workers, everybody, like, do you think all of them will be like in a friendship like for the rest of their life? Like, no. Like, that's a perfect example of like a project. It's only for a season or seasons that these people work together. Like, they're not lifelong partners, lifelong friends.
One apply.
That's a project, excuse me.
I see you really heavily, okay? I feel your pain. This one applies to you because God has cosmically created for you to be a helper. And this is why you must have significance before somebody else's arrival comes on the scene, because you'll confuse your contribution as confirmation. You confuse your contribution as confirmation because you really never really felt valued. You really kind of struggle with your own insecurities. And because you see how your help is making a difference in them, because you see your help is benefiting to them, because you see that their help is actually causing for them to appreciate you, you end up liking them and catching feelings for them. But this is not somebody you're supposed to join up with. This is somebody you just build. And if you don't know your value, if you don't know your value, you'll confuse your contribution as confirmation. Everybody say project.
Project. One tip. I know I'm pausing a little frankly, but your price has been set by the ultimate creator of everything on this earth. Just think about it. So it says that we were bought with a price. I forgot what verse it was, but we were bought with a price. So think about it like this. The man who created all of this in 6 days, mind you, this entire earth and everything in this earth and universe, he created us. He created all of this in 6 days. That's the same man that bought us with a price. That's how price, yeah, that's how valuable we are. I'll put it like that.
That's a project. Now, a parasite. Parasites are people who drain the life out of you. Like they live off of you. And this is why some of us have trust issues, because we trusted a parasite. They live off of you. I'm gonna take it a little deeper and put my foot on the gas. This is why your ex keeps coming back. This is why you keep getting that text from that ex that's saying, hey, what's up, stranger? Hey, what's up, big head? Because they lived off of you and they haven't found another host to attach themselves to. They haven't found another host. And so they come back because you literally gave them life.
That's good.
Okay? This is a parasite. These are the type of people, if you let them, they will keep sending you in recovery season after recovery season after recovery season. And truthfully, they hate to see you grow. Because when you grow, you remove what y'all had in common. This is good. You remove what they had in common with you. So they don't like to see you grow. So these type of people can be very, very, very strong manipulators because they fear if you ever grow, you're gonna outgrow me. Parasites. Now listen, parasites also should shift your perspective. You'll go from, man, I was just lonely, to, you know what, I just want God's will. I just want God's will. I had that before. I'd rather peace than your company, okay? I have a new hobby after that relationship. I have a new hobby after that. You know what my new hobby is? I enjoy not engaging in parasitic relationships and having my peace and choosing my peace over your drama. That's what I enjoy. That's my favorite hobby now.
Amen.
They give you new hobbies. Somebody say parasites. Now pawns are people who are sent by the enemy to disturb your inner me. Did you catch that? Pawns are people who are sent by the enemy to disturb your inner me, your inner peace, your inner passion, your inner joy, your inner security. You weren't.
All right, we're gonna stop here. This is part 3. Last part will be part 4.